Welcome back, everybody.
Hello. Glad to be
What's
back.
up? What it do?
So, what do y'all do when you don't know what to take pictures of? Like, you feel the need that you need to get out there and, like, take photos, but, like, you don't know what to take photos of. What do?
Whew, that one's tough.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Because
Want to get out there and take photos.
I end up not doing anything that I want to do, and then instead just try to find something else to fill in the time, just so that I feel creative. Because that's part of the problem.
Sure.
It's not necessarily like the need to take a photo of a specific thing, but just a need to do something
Right.
Yeah.
creatively. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Cause I find myself sometimes I'm like I want to get out and shoot, and then I go somewhere and I'm like, there's nothing out here that interests me, and it's like, do you just go around and you walk and you just try to find something, or you just say, you know what, forget this, it's just not, I'm not feeling it right now.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just go home.
I ask because I'm currently suffering from that. I got a fridge full of film, and I want to go out and take photos. I really want to go use this film. I want to shoot it. I want to develop it. I don't know what the hell to take pictures of. Like, there's so many different things I could do, and every single one of them, like, as soon as I think about it, gone. Like,
Really?
yeah, it's so frustrating. For this entire weekend, I sat at home watching Cobra Kai because like I wanted to go take photos, but I didn't know what to shoot. Like I feel like I've shot Dallas to death,
Yeah.
and same with Fort Worth. Like I've taken those photos. What more could I do? But like it's that kind of mindset that like gets me into the position that I'm in now. Like I want to go take photos, but my brain's like, you've already done that before.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the trick for me that seems to work anyway is just going, and then sometimes like going through the motions will kind of get those creative juices flowing, and you can kind of fake it until you make it, so to speak. Just go do it until you feel like you're doing what you were out there to do.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the hardest thing for me is just getting motivated to go do it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. That is
Yeah.
that's one of the worst parts.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a
for
good
sure.
point.
Mm-hmm.
I guess branching off that, because I used to get up, like when I first started, I used to get up and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to downtown Dallas and I'm gonna get on the scooters and ride around and take pictures. And I did that for a while. That was before I like met y'all and all that stuff. And I was just going
Mm-hmm.
out and taking pictures of things. And yeah, at a certain point, I guess you feel like you've seen everything in like your city, and you want to leave and go somewhere else. Like we left and went to Oklahoma, and that was a little bit of a different scene out there. It just
Mm-hmm.
was nice to get away and look at something other than Dallas and Fort Worth. And
Yeah.
it's like you got to run out. You feel like you run out of ideas, or you don't feel as creative when you keep shooting the same thing.
So you
Mm-hmm.
got shot in your own suburb city.
I
Oh
tried in my
yeah,
neighborhood.
we know that story.
Well, I mean the neighborhood thing, but I mean like going like I don't like Bedford or Euless and just go to like whatever the city center is for that, like the downtown area, because a lot of these cities around are quite old.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious if anybody ever goes down and shoots any of that stuff.
I I've thought about it, but like there's not really much in Old Town Louisville to take photos of. It's like it's really just one block, and
Mm-hmm.
it really feels like the upper parts of the stockyards in Fort Worth. So it just kind of already feels familiar, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, it's not because it's a completely different place. I need to
Right.
go shoot it. It's right down the street, like, and there's a
Yeah.
coffee house. It's perfect, but
Right. That's what I was getting at. It's like I wonder, like we want to go shoot downtown Dallas because we could put it on posts that we put up on Instagram, and sometimes there's stuff downtown Dallas that we want to see. I'm not saying that that's
Mhm.
always the case, as it's for the gram,
Mm-hmm.
but what I don't shoot downtown this little tiny town that I live in.
Right.
Maybe I should. I mean, I've gone down there before when I first bought my camera. That's where I tested out settings and stuff, but I
Sure.
haven't been down there and looked at it from that perspective one time in the last year and a half.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. You
a good
start
point.
exploring.
yeah, that's what I always wonder. Like, you know, we always want to go and do something, but maybe there's something right over there that we can go do and
Right. Yeah.
maybe get inspired by something different, something close. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's entire books of photography that, like, I have a book by Ernst Haas, and it's 30 years of photos in Toronto.
Right.
Just in Toronto.
Dang.
Like, and that's just a book. Like, you know that there's like several thousand photos that didn't make it into that book that he took walking around the streets of Toronto. And it's
Right.
like, man, if he can do that, like I can do that. I just need to make my brain realize that I can do that too and get out
Right.
there and do it.
Yeah, it's the overcoming the initial part of it. The
Mhm.
most challenging part, I think, is the get out and do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Ideas don't always make it outside of your head, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
not freely sometimes. Like sometimes you just need to go. That's why I said like sometimes you'll get in the motions of doing it, and then suddenly something will hit you, and you're like, oh yeah, now I'm in the zone. I'm in the moment, and I'm feeling this.
Mm-hmm.
sure.
But yeah, sometimes the ideas just don't come to you. Sometimes you have to go put yourself where ideas can
Mm-hmm.
form. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, for sure. Because there's been times I'm somewhere, or I'll make myself get up and go out. Because if I'm just sitting at home, I'm like, I don't want to do anything. If I
Mhm.
actually get up and I go, normally 9 times out of 10, when I come back home, I'm glad I went somewhere
Yeah,
because I got something out of it.
that's the same. Even if I decide to pick up a project here at home, it's the trick is starting it. Once I get going, I'm good, and I'll stick with it, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll do stuff for hours on end. But
Right.
sometimes I'm just like, man, if I start that, I want to be doing this till 6, and I don't want to do this till 6
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I know how I get with it. Like once I get going, like I don't want to stop until I'm happy with the
Mm-hmm.
effort that I put in. And sometimes it takes an hour, sometimes it takes all day.
Mm-hmm.
True that. That's the one downside to developing film at home. Like, it's not a let's take 5 minutes and develop a couple rolls of film in the bathroom. It's like
Right.
it's a whole thing. Like it's an event. Like you gotta get your chemicals up to the right temperature, and then bring them down to the right temperature, and then make sure that they stay at that right temperature,
Mm-hmm.
and then you gotta get your film to that right temperature, because if it's too hot or too cold, it'll mess it up in development. Um, like there's it's not hard to do, but it's time consuming because like
Right.
each step, like the first step is like 2.5 minutes, and then the next step is 8 minutes, and the next step is 3 minutes. But like the
Mm-hmm.
lead up to that is an hour and a half of trying to get your chemicals to the exact right temperature, which is annoying as hell.
Work.
Right. Yeah.
It is, but it's like once you're actually holding the negatives in your hand and like you've seen it through from like putting it into the camera, going out onto the street and taking the photos, and then
Mm-hmm.
going home and like doing all the stuff, loading it onto the reels, and like it's a thing. But like there's
Yeah.
when you finally hold those, you're like, man, I did that. That's cool
Yeah,
as
for
hell.
sure.
Mhm.
I like
Yeah.
that about film too. It's like you feel more in tune, like with your. It's like feels like an actual project. You know.
Yeah, it really does.
You're- yeah, like you made something
Right.
versus digital where we just go out and we shoot it and we take our SD cards out and put them in the
You
computer
just
and
press the
take them
button.
off like that. Yeah, press the button and
If it
you
were
didn't
only just
develop
that.
it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's there's still a whole like shooting film and shooting digital. Like there's so much to both of those that like they're their own things individually, and
Mhm.
that's what I love about doing both. Is like if I don't feel like spending 2.5 hours in the kitchen running hot water over a bottle, I can shoot with digital, and I can spend 2.5 hours looking at the pixels, trying to make sure that they're all
Right.
in the right place. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Pick your
Yep.
poison.
yeah, yeah. The only upside to shooting digital so far is I can shoot as many photos as I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only downside to film is I can shoot as many photos as I want. I just have to pay for them.
Right.
A lot of money versus
Yeah.
one SD card that's like $20 and versus buying
Yeah.
film over and over and over again.
Yeah. And hoping that you don't screw up that roll of film. Like
Right.
I took a whole bunch of film photos when I went with my parents to Missouri, or wherever the hell I went. Branson. Yeah, it was Missouri.
Branson.
There was my first roll of black and white film. I had some really cool shots on there that I did not take with a digital camera.
Hmm.
I fucked up that whole roll.
Oh no.
It's gone. So yeah, it was that moment of like, no. And the thing that I messed up, I didn't put developer in. I washed it and
Oh.
washed all the chemicals off.
Oh no.
So it came out a clear plastic strip. I was so mad.
Damn.
Wow.
And I will never
that's-
get those memories back.
That's one thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is
But-
true. And the other thing with film is that you can't just look at it and go, "Yeah, I nailed that."
Yeah. You have to know that you nailed it.
That's
You
why.
have to wait and see if you nailed it.
That's why you got to get it. I've got like a whole system that I'm already putting together over here to figure that out.
For real though, there's a free app on your phone. It's literally called Light Meter Free.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Download that and use it. It's a
Right.
spot meter, and it uses the camera on your phone, but like that's really all that you need. But
Get you in the ballpark.
yeah, just make sure that you actually use it, because
Right.
I did not
Right.
on my first 2 rolls of film. I was using the in-camera light meter, and I did not know how to read that. I was like, oh yeah, you just get the little thing in the middle, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
that's not how that works at all.
No.
So- yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. They were all blank.
Wow.
Thankfully, the guys at Fortworth Photolab were like, make sure that you like check your settings and like do this and that and this, and we'll help you figure it out. And yeah, it turns out I was just using the meter and the camera wrong. But
Right.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
got to be some other shit right there. Can you imagine? Like, I mean, with digital, you can just bring it home and be like, and go through all of them and be like, yeah, some of these suck, versus taking it to someone and they're like, okay, I'm getting ready to develop this film for you. And then they see it's like nothing there. And they're like,
No. Yeah.
you fucking suck. They're
Yeah.
looking at
You
you.
ruined it.
What the hell's this shit?
Right. yeah, how
You had me
I
develop
just
this
wonder
shit.
how many angry customers they got, and they're like, I'm sorry, but you suck at taking photos. The roll was blank.
Right.
Like
And I
how
was like,
how
"No,
did
it's your
that
fault.
happen?
It's your
There's a-
fault. You developed it wrong.
Yeah, because I mean that is definitely possible, but like,
Yeah.
man,
Well, and to that, I want to apologize to everybody at Walmart in Poto, Oklahoma, for the year that I was 17 and what you saw on some things that I sent for you to develop.
oh man,
Yep, then there's
that is the other. That is the good part about developing film at home is nobody else has to see.
Right.
Yep, there you go, right there.
Mhm.
Looking at your stuff like, wow, this guy fucking sucks. Well, let me put this in the bag and give it. Here
Yeah.
you go. Here's your shitty photos. I mean, your photos. I'm sorry.
Right.
You should not use harsh lighting on small things. Yeah.
That was a wink.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Jeez. Might want to put some eye drops in after that one. Your eyes might be kind of dry. Took a lot of effort.
Oh,
Man,
man.
yeah. If you could have seen some of the pictures I took, woo.
We don't want to see. We don't want to. He's like, I got the film, the rolls in the back. You guys want to see him? Pull 'em
No,
out.
that luckily for me, other people in those photos, they're gone. I mean,
Yeah.
you know how it is. You're in high school, you're a teenager, you're doing things on the weekend with your friends. One of you has a camera and you're a jackass, and that's just what happens.
It'd be like
I
that
was an
sometimes.
angel. I
Yeah,
don't know what
of
you're talking
course.
about.
Yeah, okay. I've seen your old YouTube videos. I know.
Damn it.
uh, it's good stuff.
Dang it.
That's how it goes, man.
I do wonder that though, like working at the at a photo lab, like do you have to sign an NDA before you start working there? Like you can't tell anybody about the things that you're gonna see coming through these
Yeah.
reels.
It's like HIPAA.
Right. Now, luckily, we didn't have, in my particular case, sorry, I just hit my microphone. In my particular case, we didn't have anything with nudity, but, you know, other things that maybe teenagers shouldn't have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Oh,
got all
really?
of those back.
Drugs.
Like there was, maybe they don't look at it and go, well, he shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
I just, go to Walmart and pick it up and boom. Hey, everybody, look what we did last weekend.
Right.
Yeah. It's like going to the doctor and trusting them, telling them that whatever you tell them and it won't get out. It's the same thing with the person who develops your film. You're like, hey, this no one else sees this but you. You do what you got to do and give them back to me, okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's alcohol. Yes, we're 17.
Well, to be completely honest, places like Walmart and CVS, they don't actually develop it in house. They'll send it off to a factory, and your stuff gets developed with like
Mm-hmm. Jim Bob.
75 other people at a time, and
Right?
they'll
75
just like,
other 17-year-olds.
yeah, like nobody actually sees those photos. They just develop it, throw it through a scanner, print it out, and put it in an envelope and send it to you. Like probably
Yeah,
nobody
they
ever
probably
saw
don't go
those.
through it. Yeah, they probably just it comes out of the machine and they just grab and stick them in a folder and just woo woo woo. Like real quick.
Unless maybe they side-eyed it one day. They're like, do.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What's this?
What in the hell? Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure they go home with stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I bet they do.
I would
Hell,
really like
I
to.
would.
Same. I'd really like to tour a place like the Fortworth Photolab or the. There's another one in Dallas. I don't remember what it's called, but I'd like to tour a dark room like that, like a professional level place. Like I know that they use a big machine, and there's not like a whole lot that like you can actually see with your own eyes, but like it'd just be cool to like see the machinery that they use, see the scanners that they use, like see how they handle the chemicals and stuff. Like there's so many different moving parts to develop having a lab that would be interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember nothing about that because in high school we have photography class and we had like the dark room and all that stuff. It was cool as hell in there. But
Mhm.
I honestly I don't remember half the shit we did. Like we even did it to where like you put the chemicals in there and made like prints and all that stuff. And I
I'm
literally
so
don't
jealous.
I don't remember any of it. I don't even remember. I'm like, how the hell did we make prints and put them in the chemicals, take them out and hang them up? And it's like, it's kind of crazy how you can do that. And it's like, you got this wet piece of whatever, but it's doesn't stay
Mhm.
like that.
It
Yeah.
didn't sound good at all.
So I know how to do those things, technically speaking. I've just never done it.
Mhm.
I watched 3 videos on how to do it today.
Mhm. Yeah.
Dang.
It's part of that
I-
rabbit hole you get into, I guess.
Yeah.
I've been down that
Going into
rabbit
another
hole
one.
for a year now. It's so hard to like.
I
I
don't
feel
even
so
have
bad
a
for my roommates.
film camera, and I'm like, how do I make this?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I feel horrible for my roommates because like every day I'm like picking something up from the Amazon box outside, and they're like, "What
Right.
did you get now?" I'm like, "Oh, just a little bit more hardware to do this certain thing." And they're like, "Dude, what are you gonna do with all this?" I'm like, "Oh,
Mind your damn business.
Enjoy my life.
yeah, I'm just gonna turn the bathroom into a dark room, and I'm gonna develop prints in there someday."
Right. So y'all showering outside now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, there was a hot minute that I was about to buy a shed to put in the backyard, and I was gonna run plumbing to it so that I could turn it
Oh my
into an
God.
actual dark room. Don't judge me. I do what I have to do.
Hey man,
Well, that sounds cool, actually.
Mhm.
ooh, you could rent a storage building.
Don't tempt
You
me.
actually
I
could.
will do
Yeah. It's cheap. A little room. What's that? How much is a little storage building?
I don't know.
A little bathroom.
You
Little
need
no
bathroom
idea.
plumbing.
size.
Gotta
little-
have
like
it
a
hot
little
and
water. You
Yeah.
gotta need
Yeah.
water. Huh?
cold.
Never mind.
You
But
truck the
there-
water in. You can get a little gas burner to get it hot. Like I don't know what you're worried about.
The Photolab in Dallas actually has classes on how to develop darkroom prints, like where you expose a negative to pass light through it, and you expose a photosensitive piece of paper, and you actually make a print. They have classes and a lab that you can rent out, but it's
So,
stupid expensive, and
is it
I
really?
want to go so bad. Yeah,
Right? It's expensive. I want to do it.
yeah. I think it's like
Christmas present.
or birthday present.
Right.
Birthday present.
Birthday
I'm
must be
gonna do
before
it.
Christmas.
It is. It's in June. It's like
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
middle of the
yeah,
year.
yeah.
But yeah, they're moderately expensive, but I still want to do it. I think it'd be a fun thing. They also have like classes so that you're not like just doing it blind. Like, I hope this
Yeah.
turns out,
Right.
kind
That
of
does
thing.
sound
But
fun.
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, those videos I was watching earlier about doing that was like the black and white stuff looked like it would be super cool to do. It's when they started doing like at home darkroom color prints that it seemed to get like super complicated
Yeah.
because you can't even have like the light on in there at all. So they
Oh
were
yeah, you
basically
can't have the
having
safe light.
to shove the print in a tube or whatever and like roll it to keep it agitated and all in the dark. And I'm like, you said this was going to be easy, and you just said 8 things in a row that were way more complicated than when we started.
Yeah, yeah. But it's so much fun. Like once you learn how to do it, because like the first few rolls that you do by yourself at home, they're gonna come out janky in some form or fashion. They're gonna be underdeveloped, or like you'll leave it in the Blix too long and it'll get a color shift, or the temperatures are wrong. Something's gonna be wrong with those photos. But
Right.
like once you start to get the process down, like it's so much fun. I was loading some 120 film into my film reels, and like I struggled so much the first couple of times that I did it, and now like I'm not even thinking about it, and I'm spooling a roll. I'm like,
Right.
oh, I'm done with that already. Like, I don't know. It's just so much fun. Do
Right.
it. I'll teach you.
Yeah, I'll be down. I'll be
Oh
down.
gosh.
I'm
I
down.
really
I'm
do
game
like that
for it.
Mamiya.
The
The
Mamiya?
Mamiya is
Yeah,
dope.
it's a lot of fun.
The plasticky one, the little cheap plasticky. Well, it's not cheap, but it's like more of a plastic body one. I can't remember what the fuck it is. I always forget.
A
So you
whole
don't
one?
want to.
RZ67?
Oh, the RZ67. That's the newer version.
Is that the one, or is it RB6? Because it's RB69, RZ67. I don't think that's it either.
RB67,
It's
RZ67. So the
what's the other one?
RB67 is the one from the 70s. The RZ is the one from like the 80s, something like that. Don't at me because I probably got that wrong. But the RZ is the newer one. It uses a battery, where the RB67 is fully manual. Like everything about it, there's no electronics in it. The RZ67 takes a battery, and you can have an auto winder on the back so that when you crank it and you take a photo, it will automatically go to the next frame, where the RB, you have to crank everything yourself. So you get a lot of double exposures because you forgot to advance to the next frame.
This is the one I'm talking about. The 645.
Oh yeah.
That one.
That's just a
That's
smaller
like
version.
the little plastic body one. I like that
Yeah.
one.
Everybody likes those because they're really expensive.
Of course they are.
Mhm.
Of
It's film.
course they are.
I really want a Pentax 6.7. They're the ones that you can put a wooden handle on, and you can like actually take it out and do street photography with it. Whereas the
I've
other
seen
one,
that.
you've seen my camera. You gotta hold it weird. It's
Yeah.
clunky to do. The Pentax 6.7, you can put a eye level viewfinder, and it's just like having a giant fucking camera in your hands. But
Mm.
it takes a 6x7 negative, so like it's gonna be super detailed, and yeah, they're lots
Nice.
of
Yeah.
fun.
Right.
Nice. So do y'all
Jalisa wants
have
to do film,
anything?
but she don't want to do video.
Well,
I'm gonna get everybody into film
it's
first.
it's still photos.
I know.
Welcome to the rabbit hole.
Oh man.
I'm okay with I want to do the Polaroids. I think it's still kind of expensive because you gotta
Oh,
buy
man.
the pack.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
But-
started my trip down this rabbit hole yesterday. Was I was like scrolling through something, and then they have like Mandalorian themed Polaroid cameras.
I want the Stranger Things themed one. I
Yeah,
want it so bad.
I saw somebody was talking about that too. So I saw this Mandalorian theme thing, and I was like, oh, dude. So I have like ideas just start go. I'm like, oh, cool, I could get one of these, and then I start looking at how much that damn film costs.
Mhm,
And I'm like, $15 for 8 shots? You crazy?
I
Yeah,
know
it'd be
it's
like that.
crazy.
Like, wow,
That's
that's
the part that
insane.
sucks. You're like, man, I really want to get into this, and then you start saying $15 for the. I gotta. Oh, never mind. I'm good.
Yeah. So now I'm like, well, and then the cameras. I remember. I'm gonna say something that's gonna make me sound really old, but I remember being younger and I paid like $25 for a Polaroid camera. I don't think that I couldn't find a single thing that looked like a Polaroid camera for $25. But I
Oh,
remember when I was a kid, I had one that was green and it was plastic and
Mhm.
had all the fun stuff on it.
Yep.
And I was just like, I can't imagine it was super expensive. We didn't have no money. It couldn't have been expensive. So,
mhm.
and then so I thought, well, I'll get it something like that. That'd be pretty cheap. And if the film's kind of expensive,
Yeah.
not a big deal. It's cheap, whatever. Like $120 for a freaking. So that Mandalorian themed one, if you just get the Mandalorian themed camera and you don't get it in a pack with the Mandalorian Star Wars themed film that has the borders and stuff on it with logos and all that,
Mhm.
it's like $119. If you get the
Mhm.
one in the kit, it's like $180.
Yep.
Like, never mind. Now I'm gonna
You're
start.
paying for the branding on the outside of that though, because
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
that model camera, the one step is like $100
Yeah.
at Walmart. But
right.
you pay for the branding on the outside of it. I would
Well,
buy the cheap one and paint it.
I'm not buying any of it. If I'm gonna spend $60 to $100 on something, I don't want to have to pay $2 a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well,
It's a
your
lot.
best bet is shooting 35 millimeter. That's going to be the best, the most photos for the least amount of money.
That's what I'm saying. More chances to screw up and more chances to succeed. I'll take my chances with that.
Yeah.
Like the Polaroid, obviously, within a few seconds, shake it. I know you don't have to shake it. I'm just, but
So I'll say you should have learned that in the rabbit hole. Don't shake it. Take a photo and stick it in your pocket.
or put it under your arm. That's what we used to do. But yeah, I mean, you can get that a little bit quicker than if you got the other film. But I don't know. Your room for error is a lot smaller with the pocketbook.
Sure. Yeah. Yep. The only thing I'm gonna say with that though is don't skimp on the chemicals that you buy to develop your film. If you do decide to do that at home,
Right.
I did that with not knocking Cinestill, but they have a mono bath for their black and white film. It's a single bath, and you can run it at room temperature in like 5-10 minutes. It sucks. Like the quality of photos that I got out of it, maybe that was just because it was my first time using it and I should try it out again, which I need to probably buy a new one now. It's expired, but It was so grainy. Everything about those photos was just off. It was not a very good good quality.
Yeah,
Yeah. They
that's
looked
crazy.
terrible. Yeah. But I switched to Kodak's HC110, and my black and white photos look almost as good as my digital photos. So,
Nice.
Nice.
yeah.
I got a
It's a
quick
huge jump.
question.
Sure.
I think we all here have something that we've actually printed. Since we got a few minutes left, y'all grab it and we can like share it real quick on camera.
Yeah. I'm going to pause the recording. And we're back.
Nice.
Who's going first?
I'll go first.
I'll go
guess.
first since I'm holding it.
Okay, go ahead.
I got this one. I used Shutterfly. Not as good quality as it looks. It looks great from far away, and it looks great on camera. But up close, it does not get any more detailed or any sharper of an image. It's actually pretty. I'm not gonna say it's out of focus, but it's definitely like a blown up version of a small JPEG. They did not. Unfortunately, with Shutterfly, at least on the mobile app, it doesn't allow you to use like a high res photo. Because I definitely got a high-res photo of this. Yeah, it's not very good. It looks great from far away, but up close, it looks kind of meh. Yeah.
I like it though. I like the colors and
Same.
the way it looks.
It's literally one of the most popular photos on my Instagram. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
I did
nice.
pay to promote it, so I hope so. But. Who's next?
I got this one. I actually have one I printed up there, but I decided to go grab a different one. This one right here.
Ooh, I like the colors on that.
Yeah.
I wish the majestic sign was fully lit.
Yeah. It never is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write them.
But that's Lawrence right there in the middle.
Nice.
Taking
Oh shit!
pictures.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Someone actually I posted it in one of the portrait groups or whatever the hell, and a woman in there was like, would you how much would you sell this for? And I ended up selling her 8x10 of
Hell yeah.
this. So this is the first time I've ever actually sold anybody anything.
Nice.
How much you sell it for?
I don't even freaking remember. I have to go back and look. I can't remember what it was, like 40 or something.
Not bad.
I can't remember.
I think the highest I made somebody pay was like $25. But those photos were awful.
Right. Well, here's the one. I printed a bunch more than at this time, but this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
And it's kind of like Justin's thing and it's not really coming in because I got light and my camera won't focus on it because whatever. But it looks pretty good from a distance, but it's the same. It's up close. It seems like I got a little bit of a loss in resolution or something, a little application issue with it. And then there's a couple of weird things with color on it, like with the tones of a couple of greens. In a couple of spots, but it's not terrible. I'm going to keep this version of it. I printed this for a drawing, basically winning for a promotion that I did, and I'm not going to give this version to him. I'm going to send it off to a different place and have them print based on some quality improvements over this particular company. So, but I'm happy with that, and I printed out about 7 other things as well, but I'm not sure. They must be in the other room, but this one was in here.
Hell yeah!
I'd like to start printing more, but printers are freaking expensive.
I was just about to lead into that. If you do decide to print your work and you want good quality, find a local lab. They'll care more about your photos than anybody else will. You'll pay a premium in the price, but the quality of photo that you get is absolutely incredible. I took mine to Fortworth Photolab when I was sending a print off to my one and only patron. I printed off a photo and sent it to Norway, but I went to Photolab, got them to get a high res scan of the negative and then made a print out of it. It was so good. I did not want to send that off to them, but it was
Right.
it was beautiful. The amount of detail that they were able to pull out of the photo and like everything about it was perfect. I would gladly pay another $40 for a single photo, just to get that level of quality back. So,
What size was it?
it was a 17 by something. I don't remember now.
Not bad.
17 by 20, something like that.
Dang, that's big.
Yeah, it was a decent sized photo. Yeah.
Yeah, this one I got is 11 by 17, this size.
Yeah. They put it on like a hard gator board, something like that, like corrugated material. So it was nice and rigid. Yeah, it looked beautiful.
That's not bad for $40 though. If they did all that.
It really wasn't. It was good, and it was very, very high quality. So, Fortworth Photolab, go to them.
Right.
They're the best.
Yeah,
The only thing that sucks is that they open between 8 and 5 Monday through freaking Friday.
Yeah. That's the hard part. But you can send things off to them. They can do it all via the internet.
Nice.
They'll take high res photos, TIFF files, and all that.
Well, I'm not opposed to using this print service again, but I don't think that I'll have them print anything to this scale for me again. I don't mind how some of the smaller ones turned out, but like you were saying with like maybe lower res JPEGs, maybe they just, I don't know what they did that transferred this to this 11 by 17 size, but the 8 by 12s that I had printed, while I could tell there was a quality difference versus I pull up the image that I sent them, and I'm looking at the print that I got back, and I'm like, these aren't the same thing. There's something a little weird with that. So it's a little off from that quality, but it's okay. I'm not upset about it. So I would do smaller prints there if I were just trying to get some that looked like they were decent quality for a low cost turnaround, because they were super cheap.
Hell yeah.
Super cheap.
Shutterfly super cheap. And
this was not super cheap for this size. I mean, I guess it would be cheap, but it's not super cheap.
1 minute. And
1 minute left.
it's been fun chatting with y'all. I will talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Sweet.